Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. It's been a little bit. I'm trying to get the videos up more regular. It's just, sometimes life doesn't stop and cooperate with that. I hope everyone's doing well. Can you believe we're at the end of April? Where did this year go? It's like going so fast. So we're almost into May. Busy May. I'm so excited. So, what's been going on with me? It's been a lot. Let's see. Last week, I thought I was going to be off for of chemo, the drug trial I'm in, because there was a delay in the IRB with NIH for the clinical study drug trial I'm in. Investigational drug trial technically is what it is. So there's been pretty good results, but it was only 4 months. So now they're going to 12 and I'm patient 10001. So I had a bad, last Tuesday I had like a spasticity attack that was really bad. So just something, it's like spasticity when it hits me really hurts. So I don't know, because Easter was the weekend prior and I packed 150 plastic eggs. Yes, my hands still work, though my left hand is weaker than my right hand. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I was still able to do it. And of course, things were going, so much was happening that week before. It was all on Easter Sunday that I had to do this, because I had, I'm back in another course. Now I took the Cultivating Emotional Balance course. Now I'm taking the Cultivating Emotional Balance, and I'll get a certificate. So that is usually taught by lamas, which not, no drama lamas, Buddhist monks. Well, it depends on what faction of Buddhism Ooh, no, I'm not throwing people under the bus. But so I'm doing that, and I'm back into that. And it was, I have this wonderful friend that's like, oh, let's do that. It's like, okay. So that's kind of fun. Started that, and then it was Easter, and my oldest came down with my grandbaby. Oh, so cute. She's getting to that little toddler 16-month stage where they're all about finding out other kids and balls and, just the fun stuff. And so I did, had to do special eggs for her that weren't chokeable. And let me just show you. I have a thing for rubber chickens, so little tossy rubber chickens and little toys and the eggs for the kids. They liked it. It's just, it's like my best friend and I have children. Well, she has a stepdaughter and an older daughter that are in their adults, and then we have the middle schooler. Well, I don't. I only have two. Middle, there's some kids that are in the middle, and then there's the little toddlers to that, and then there's the elementary kids. So everyone was happy. It was good food, good company. It was awesome. I made a huge banana cake, and I stuffed 150 eggs and baked a cake, and then got there. So why did I have a spasticity event on Tuesday? Well, Monday was kind of busy too. I'm pretty cognizant that yes, I have ALS, even though I'm a very slow progressor. My ALS FR score is 37. Though when I have a spastic day like that, I bounce around. I can go down to like a 30 and then back up, which it hasn't changed for a year. So, so went and had this spastic. Oh, that was painful. That was just painful. I didn't realize, you can go through the stress. 2 family members died. 2 of my family's pets died. And, grief for whether it's a human or some people's animals are, family members. So they grieve deeply for that. It's just, coming out of the major grief state I was in. And I'm feeling better, but I'm kind of like that, dryness that you get after you get out of grief. Well, it's still part of it, and it's never a linear thing that goes straight in a line. It always bounces back and forth and left and right. And it's all about how you really think of death, if you think of it that way. So it irritated my gut. So my gut was irritated, which I should have said, oh, time to really de-stress. No, I still was trying to live life and do things. And boom, spasticity. So woke up frozen and with a lot of pain. My spasticity tends to get me back of my neck. It can do my shoulders, my hands, my legs. So it was just really, really hard. And it was really, really painful. But thankfully I have, I see a pain specialist, and I have gabapentin, and I have a low-dose opiate that helps with that. So not that I really take it that much, but it's nice when you have it. It's just, in the US, it's very difficult for those that may have chronic pain, whether you have cancer. Not everybody with ALS, MND has pain. Some do later in the progression of the disease when they're bedbound, have lost weight. Your bony prominences can cause wounds, and the tug as you're getting weaker on your joints and your bones as you get weaker, as you try to do things, can cause pain. Mine is nerve pathways that tend to cause pain with the spasticity. And the fact that I can't take baclofen because it's an antispasmodic, reduces spasms. It's just I have a strange reaction. Go figure, I'd have to have an opposite reaction to everybody. It doesn't make me sleepy. It makes me unable to sleep. I was on it previously and couldn't sleep for a week. So, it's kind of like you don't want to take muscle relaxers too much, because that your muscles are tight sometimes because they're weak and they're trying to keep that tightness so you can still function. But that was one of those days I had to do that. And then the next day I got a call that somehow, I think it's the physician I'm under. I'm one of Dr. Appel's patients. He's here in the US. They got the approval. So I only missed a week. So no decline. Except I showed up in a wheelchair because my walking still wasn't quite normal from the spasticity. Not that it's quite normal now. It's just I usually get around with a little bit better. A little more grease in the joints and the muscles to move. Being really stiff, and me with my... I used to be a klutz, and I know how to fall. But when you get to that, when you are kind of exhausted and there's a lot of concrete, ever since they told me that a fall could, the trauma from a fall could cause the progression to happen quicker, I've been really cognizant of being very careful about falls. No more roller skates, right? But I was in a wheelchair. We have a little transport wheelchair. So I was in that and started the medicine. So I took the first dose of the 2 meds I get, the first one last Wednesday, and just finished the dose I give myself daily today. So I have nice bruises on my belly. They go away real quick. It's just the medicine causes little nodules on me. So I'm doing okay. Nausea control, because sometimes that medicine makes me nauseous. All in all, pretty good. So what else has happened? Did that, got on the medicine, had my courses. Once a month my weekends start early. Sunday, my youngest, who's 9, 9.5. Can you believe this year I'm going to have a 10-year-old and a 30-year-old? Just doesn't seem like it. I mean, you sneeze and life happens. It's like I remember her being a little toddler. I remember her being little. I remember my oldest being young. And it's just now it's like, wow, you blink and life happens. So she went off to the Girl Scouts. I had a Saturday class that was based in London, but my time from London, it was 4 a.m. And up at 4 a.m., it's a Tibetan Buddhist course, and you know, the Gishi that was teaching it just is like such a happy person, but such an in-depth person, so it's deep. And then right after that, I had to jump over on Zoom to Nepal. Still doing my Zoom traveling, right? And took my CB course, and then Sunday back up at 4 a.m. But I had some nights, two date nights with my husband, which was nice. We ate well, and a bunch of stuff. So life has been busy, just kind of getting, you know, it's like spring break happened. That's something we have in the States. And it's just everything's getting towards that, getting closer to summer. You know, we've been in a drought, and we finally had a rainstorm today. I figured out that the drought and the fact that we don't have the automatic sprinklers, I think one of my trees is dead. My peach tree. It's a travesty. So next year, I guess we'll have to plant a new one. Well, me not planting. It's like, hey, husband, plant. Yeah, so that's what's been going on. Just a lot of courses and talking to family members. You know, my oldest is struggling with some health things, and being someone with familial ALS, you know, I can only imagine what that's like for family members that aren't sick. And a child or a sibling in my particular C9orf72, it creates toxic proteins from the RNA repletes. But, you know, that's a risk factor. You know, you have a 50% chance, kind of like Huntington's disease. So her issues are probably something else, but there's this particular hell. And I don't know if any of you in watching this video, I mean, if you have ALS or MND, you know what I'm talking about. But those of us that have had any chronic health conditions, and how that, before you're diagnosed and you have all these symptoms, how that can be really scary. And a lot of us feed the seeds of angst in our body and fear and that, and those grow, and you can get a big scary around. So she's got her scheduled with the doctors that she's going to see. I don't believe it's ALS. I mean, she's still younger, and it'd be unlikely for it to be at this age. But in a familial case, you never know. So, you know, it's like, I am a retired nurse, so I am not licensed. Anything I do say, please know, this is not used for medical advice. I am not a licensed person. Please, if you have any questions, go to your primary doctor or seek a doctor, and not Dr. Google, but a real doctor, to talk about your concerns. So that's basically what I've told my daughter, because she has consulted Dr. Google and got herself scared. So, what is it? Now, in a week and a half, I drive up there to go spend time with her and my granddaughter. So just kind of being with her and walking alongside her as she's going through her process and figure out what it is. I don't think it's ALS. Of course, you know, it's my clinical eye that I developed over my years of nursing, and I'm trying to make sure it's not my personal bias that I wouldn't want my daughter to have it, but I don't think it is. It's just something. It's just hell that you're in between having weird symptoms and not knowing exactly what it is. That's hard, you know. And I told my daughter, take a piece of paper, and any symptoms that you have, write them down. I'd recommend that to anybody. Because when you're seeing something, when you're in the doctor's office, or if you're waiting to see a specialist, and you can think of, this happened to me, well, that's weird. That's happened to me, that's weird. This is this, yes, that's weird. This is this, that's weird. But it doesn't all come to you at once. So keeping a thing to talk to the doctor about and writing those questions down sometimes can really help. I don't recommend when someone is dealing with something like that, because you've built this big fear in your head, right? You probably want to take a family member or a good friend with you. So as you're getting all of this going on, you don't miss anything. So, you know, I'm going to go up there and we'll figure it out. Just being a supportive mom, not the nurse, and grandma. So, yeah, so it's just kind of, you know, I've had like 2 months of suck. It's like a bunch of things happening. And now I'm just on the other side of it. Just trying to figure out how to proceed. You know, just very, very thankful I'm still here. My uncle passed away from ALS about 2.5 weeks ago. And watching my family, you know, going through it. The funeral's going to be in like a week and a half. And just knowing, you know, I'm still around. You know, I had all the other people at my ALS clinic appointment. You know, people progress. You never know how, with this disease when it's going to happen. You know, I know I'm terminal. You know, of course, everybody that's living is terminal. It just does, you know, I just know I'm going to go probably sooner. Though hopefully, you know, I'm getting 3 years after the first onset of my symptoms. And I'm a very slow progressor, so I'm very thankful. But it just feels weird that I've seen so many people that got diagnosed after me that have already died or have progressed to a greater amount. You know, it's like, I'm trying not to get survivor's guilt because everybody has their own story, you know. I don't know. I mean, you know, in reading comments, you know, there seems like there's a lot of people having a hard time right now. And, you know, you can understand it. I mean, you know, you look at what's going on in the Ukraine, which is horrific. If you look at the disinformation in Russia, that's horrific. Family split apart, you know, the pandemic. My mom died of COVID. I'm not alone. There's lots of people around the world that have died of COVID. How do you start feeling better? Some of us need to get professional help. And if you're ever in a really dark place, wearing sunglasses in a room that's dark, you know, reach out to get help. If you're grieving and you've had more dark thoughts have come on instead of, you know, a little space, definitely reach out. There are organizations like befriender.org. There's the National Suicide Hotline. And there are suicide hotlines around the world. And I did a little short video for just for that information. So just take care of yourself, and also, you know, we have to look out for each other. So there's that. You know, I have found that my new favorite thing is, instead of watching the news and seeing all of the stuff like Elon Musk bought Twitter, you know, if you have a Tesla, you can have all the stuff in your car that you could possibly want, you know. Ooh, bougie car, right? And then you have to buy subscriptions. So I imagine that Twitter will turn into a subscription service. I'm just thinking, oh my. So, you know, besides other things, you know, nasty news around, you know, I've been watching the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard trial. At least you know that both of those people will end up being okay no matter what. But it's just kind of like, it's like the watching the court proceeding and watching those things, and it's kind of like, just, I don't know, it's like interesting to see people's perceptions. It's interesting to see the issues that are being brought up about childhood trauma and those effects on people. And, you know, that I do twice a week, I do meditations for a group that deals with the family members of those that are addicted or have disordered thinking. And it's kind of interesting how many of us are affected that way. I'm not an addict. My mother did have disordered thinking. So it's just kind of interesting to see So my little drop, putting a drop out for compassion. I think the key to getting over difficult things, like if you're in that dark moment, definitely get professional help. But you know, it's gratitude. You know, I think that I have to look at why go down the dark things of why am I here? Why am I not, you know, bound to wheelchair all the time? Why am I not this? No, it's okay. I mean, that's just not my story right now. It will be my story, you know. I do see some changes, but I'm still okay. And hopefully this medicine, the drug trial I'm on is really hopeful. So hopefully this helps other people. And it's helping me right now. You know, how long that is, I don't know. But now there's a complication. I thought I was going to have this time and I had to have some procedures scheduled. So now they're like, what? You're going to have that done? Well, I wasn't supposed to get the medicine until June. By the way, I'm traveling for a wedding. I'm so excited by that. The wedding's coming up. I just love seeing that part of someone's life, my little cousin. She's like 2 years older than my oldest. But seeing, you know, a new family form and grow and to be there to help bless it. Oh, that's so sweet. So exciting. And going to see my granddaughter. And I won't be able to see Dave Matthews, but I'm on chemo. And, you know, it's like one of the drugs is a low dose chemo drug. And as much as I like to be singing music and being out there, you know, there's the whole vaccinated versus unvaccinated versus I don't want to catch something. So maybe next year, I'll still be doing the couch tour. So I don't know. It's exciting. So I'll be able to see bunches of different parts of Texas. You know, just taking the time out to be having gratitude for it. You know, go out and sit. I went out and sat in my yard and just watched, you know, little flowers bloom and the trees, and came back inside because we have a lot of oak pollen and it's an oak apocalypse, allergies. I don't know. I mean, being able to go out and have a nice, lovely piece of pie with someone I care about, it's nice. You know, it's just, I have to look at the good things. You know, we lose people, we lose things. People matter more to me than things. But we have to look at what's still going on, what's good. You know, finding that beauty in each day, that little piece, and having gratitude for it. I know people are all going, you know, it's like gratitude or hashtag mindfulness, you know, these things that are always said over and over again. But really, if you take those little pieces, it does make a difference. You know, it's like I talk about my meditation. I have found that meditating and praying, you know, that you don't have, everybody's belief system is their own belief system, and more power to you, whether you have one or you don't. You know, it doesn't matter. I mean, be you. You know, it's but I found that the meditation has really helped me find a center, and being that presence and being in the present makes a huge difference. You know, feeding those seeds that bloom better, positive seeds, planting one of gratitude, you know, one of being present, one of equanimity. You know, there's lots of things that you can look at that really will help you balance. You know, there's no great highs without great lows. It's good to have good things. And yes, bad things do happen, but it's kind of nice to stay here and appreciate the good, not get over upset at the bad. You know, grief is a different thing. That is a physical, mental, emotional conundrum. And if you really love somebody, at some point you'll really grieve somebody. It's part of love. But life grows around, you know, the holes that you have, life grows around, you know. Sometimes it's mushrooms, and sometimes it's flowers. So yeah, I mean, that's just what I've been doing. You know, it's kind of neat, though I have driven. Yes, I can still drive. And I just noticed that dragging around people's manners, I don't know, the manners have, one thing that left from the pandemic, people have been in their own talking bubbles too long, or social media bubbles too long, and people are just ruder on the road. It's like, oh, I don't mind what lane I'm in. It's like, I don't know. So I'm supposed to have a court date for the accident I was in. So if it goes to September, it'll be 4 years. The courts were shut down because of the pandemic, and they've opened back up, but there's a backlog of cases, so we shall see. Now that I'm back on the medicines, it kind of makes a conundrum of some of my summer plans, because though there'll be less labs this time, I still have to go in to the clinic every 2 weeks. My research doctor said they could push it back 1 week for me, so that'd give me that little extra time. But until the case is gone, it's like, I know I have like a 3-week period in June that I might be able to travel. So I don't know. I'll have to do weekend things. But I really want to take my niece to see her first concert. So we shall see what happens. Everything will shake out the way it's going to shake out. So that's what's going on with me. Just a bunch of, celebrating with family. Bunch of Easter eggs. They all got taken care of. Now I have a bunch of plastic Easter eggs to put up for next year. Watching other people's traumas and dramas. It's I mean, the court case, not other people that I see that I personally know that are going through difficult periods of time. I'm amazed at the strength of the human spirit, the gump that some people have, and it's been amazing, the little sangha that we have through that group, and just seeing how many people are blooming. That's a beautiful thing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I'm trying to think of what outfits. I mean, think about that. I'm going to a wedding. Wow. I can't wait to go to New Mexico. I was a little kid in New Mexico, and once you get that desert in your blood, I always used to say home was in New Mexico. It's not. Home is where your heart is. So I find my home in people. So I just want to there's a thing that you see in the Southwest. You've probably seen it if you see pictures or anything of the chili peppers, hung from the porch in these long strings. I ordered one on Etsy, and it was like this big. So I plan to go and get a real one and pack it in the suitcase. Just kind of see Albuquerque again. There used to be a place there that had the best chocolate malts. I don't know if it's still there. I'll have to look it up. Dose myself with as much Christmas enchiladas I can find. Green chili and red chili. That's what they call Christmas. So that should be really fun. Just gonna come and go. And then we have June. My little one, my oldest wants to have my little one. I have to go up for her specialist appointments. She lives in a different part of Texas. So I have to go up there. Then she's like, well, she wants her little sister to take her, spend 2 weeks with her, and she'll drive her back down. I'm just thinking, I had a weekend without my daughter, and it was hard. You think about when I think when they get to teenagers, that time when they're really obnoxious, and you're like, just can't wait until you grow up. So she's still at that real sweet elementary age. It's just hard. So I'll think about how long I can leave her and not leave her. I missed my kid. It was only like, 2.5 days? So, but we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I plan to put my toes into sand and my feet into waves, not my body into waves. Chemo. I'm going to have fun this summer, even if it's shorter trips than I thought I would be able to take. It's one thing I like to do is plan adventure into time. It's like we've all seen the 4 walls too much. Now life is kind of opening back up. In some areas, other areas, people are having a really hard time. Heart goes out to people. But, you know, you can make little adventures. I like to get lost in town sometimes. You know, go explore places or look up things that, let me go see if I can go do that. Or where is that? You know, following the street and seeing where it goes. Sometimes you got to do that and take care of yourself that way. So this is a short video, nothing that exciting. I hope you all are doing okay. And if you're not, talk to someone that you know in life that, and reach out. You know, even if those of us that are doing okay, you know, check on people, you know, reach out to a friend, stop and get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. You know, life is short, you know, try to find somewhere you can, and people that you love and care about or are interested in to talk to. You know, it matters. And each one of you matter. Make sure that you take care of yourselves. It can be a cup of tea. It can be listening to great music. It could be a great book, walking in nature, sharing a laugh with someone, you know, meditation, prayers, contemplations. Take care of you, and thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back. Hopefully, you know, not in this little room that I'm in. You know, I've got to figure out a way I can take you out on some of my adventures. All right, take care. See you later. Bye.